everybody. This is AJ Digital, and this is All Signal, another episode of All Signal. Well, first episode of All Signal. I am Audio Jones, AI consultant, personal brand coach, and I'm sitting here with the little, I don't even like saying little homie, but I'm sitting here with a young junior exec in the making, Jah Rolle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We here, AJ Digital. Yes,
okay,
sir.
okay. Introduce yourself to the people. Let them know how old you are, who you are, where you come from, and what you're currently working on.
Okay, so my name is Jah Rolle for everybody out there. 23 years old. I'm a young up and coming, I would say, executive, like my brother said, entrepreneur. I'm currently in school, getting a degree in design and business management right now. Semester left. I'll be done soon. And that's it. I'm from Miami, Florida. You know, I got traction in sports. A little bit about my background. I played sports throughout my whole life. Transitioned into like the music, fashion, creative business. But this is everything I've been doing my whole life. But now it's come to fruition for me to, execute with my big brother right here, Audio Jones, and then all the, other mentors that's been throughout my life.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. That's lovely, man. So, I mean, you're at a point in your life where I got to be real, I'm jealous because, 23, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I'm 39, about to hit the big 40, but I'm excited for that.
Yes,
I got a couple of decades on the earth, so I have some information, but if I could have known some of the stuff I know now when I was 23, I'd be rolling. So I'm looking at you right now and I'm just seeing like all the massive opportunity and potential because I'm like, yo, you're literally at the prefaces of a revolution of change right now. As you know, we are in some would say the new .com. We're in the AI revolution. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I want to I just want to ask you an honest question about like where you are in AI in terms of your relationship, proximity. Are you using it? The people around you, what's your take on it? Like just an honest, honest overview about AI.
Yeah. So my honest overview of it is like we're definitely using AI. We're definitely using a lot of softwares.
Okay.
The softwares that we're tapping into is making things a lot easier for us, I would say. I learned a lot of things on AI and how to implement it into like certain things that I'm doing now with business features. But if we want to be truly honest, I've learned from the guy to the left of me. Pretty much, man. We sat in rooms for hours. I've sat with audio coding, different things. Audio's built apps, all different types of things that I learned the AI scope of things really
right
through you and AJ Digital. And it's definitely propelled everything that I'm doing now for sure. It was a learning process in the beginning. But like I was able to adapt very quickly to everything that you were teaching me from the get-go. And then like the same tools that you've taught me is the same tools that I use now and what I'm doing that's, working.
Right.
So
and when you say working, the domain and industry that you've kind of been focusing on is marketing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, definitely. How does take me through this? Because it's kind of interesting. You look like a sports guy.
Yes, sir.
You're built like one, right? So I'm 5'5", maybe 5'4".
Yes, sir.
But you honestly look like you can run and catch a ball for sure.
Yes, sir.
How do you go from sports to marketing?
How I really did that, man, it really goes hand in hand if you look at it from a scope. Sports, marketing, business, all them things like they correlate to each other in a sense. But
NIL.
Yeah, NIL and different things like that too. That's a good point that you brought up just now. But how I got into like how it correlates with each other more for I would say is like the marketing I was an athlete myself, so in that sense, like the new era of AI. I mean, not the new era of AI, but the new era of NIL and things like that. You need to know how to market. You need to know how to brand. You need to know like certain things like that. So
because the rules changed most recently. I don't know if that's nationally or is by state the rules. I don't know those.
Some of them, I think some NIL rules are by state within like, but that has to do with like more university type of things of like you can get a transfer portal player, get a player from here. So like those type of rules are for like statewide things, but more so like it's all under that same conglomerate.
I'm not the most athletic guy.
Yes, sir.
You know, by the way, podcast producer. This is AJ Digital. We are sitting in an AJ Digital studio. This is our first studio podcast. We got another one in Davie on the way.
Yes, sir.
We build it. Hopefully, the third acquisition comes through for us. So if you are in need and you are in South Florida and you're looking for a podcast partner, we are the guys. We'll come in. We'll build out you. We can either build your podcast room for you, or you can use one of our facilities. Where, as you know, we are in marketing and branding, and we think that podcasting is one of the most useful, consistent tools for you to tell your story and tell people about what your offering are to the world. So. Quick little plug for the company, but we'll get back to
definitely
NIL. Talk to me about NIL. I'm not the most sports. Like I said, I watch UFC, boxing. I watch FIFA when it's like the World Cup. And when it comes to sports, I've done touch, not tackle, pause. And when it comes to basketball. 21. So NIL, basically, if you're in university, you can start earning money.
Yes, sir. So for like me, my perspective on it, man, if like the first time I got out of high school, if I had that NIL opportunity, I think I would have made like the right moves in a certain sense. But for me, basically, like NIL, I love it for us, like the athletes, basically, that's coming up and like that's still in it in the paint, really. I think NIL is a good thing. I think that just all the hard work that, you know, collegiate athletes are doing and all the work they're putting in to like make it to that next level, I think NIL is a really good thing for collegiate athletes that, well, like it's about time that, you know, collegiate athletes get paid for what they're doing.
Because in most cases, coming from where we come from, you get the school scholarship.
Scholarship, yeah.
So that usually means... doesn't always mean, but there may be financially, you know, that family might not have the resources to make sure that the experience of being a collegiate athlete is
worth it.
You know, because I think you still have fun eating noodles. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I see a lot of college kids still look like they're having fun even though they're poor.
Gotta make the best out of the situation.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. You gotta make the best out of the certain situations. I think NIL brought a different market to the table because it didn't just bring the money, but it also brought a place for the players to be seen, in a sense, where you're doing brand partnerships.
Okay.
Now you're doing, you know what I'm saying? Maybe Coca-Cola hits you up. Can you do something for us? Any company really can hit you up at this point in time with the athletes for representation. But it gives you more than money. It gives you a place to be seen. It gives you a place to, I would say, like work towards something in a sense. But, you know, NIL is good overall because that's another thing for a player to grind for too, is to make it out that situation that they may be in with their family. You know what I'm saying?
That's super like interesting to me because my ears are like tingling. I'm a serial entrepreneur, so and I'm pretty sure there's model already exists, but there's obviously agencies out there that are targeting these client bases, right? So okay, and ultimately the goal there is so we were talking about NIL. We're talking about agencies already exist. Where do you think, and this is a fun game for me because like AI for me is like finding the niche within the niche. Like what do you think what do you think AI can either enhance, optimize in NIL between, I guess, the agencies and the athletes?
I think that's pretty simple. I think most agencies that are targeting like the athletes now have probably already not probably, but they've already been built from the get-go. Like the agencies that's hitting athletes up now have probably had like maybe 5 years of a structure, 7 years of a structure before NIL already hit.
Yeah.
But it's more so, I think that name, that big name that these companies, these agencies have that attract the athletes with the eye and like certain different things that, like it's the same way as recruiting.
Okay.
The same way an a coach recruits a player, same way an agency recruits a player. But the thing that most new agencies and like agencies are tapping into now is AI for sure, as we just spoke upon. But the way that I think AI combines into these agencies now and like new agencies that are going to be up and coming is what I've learned from you is more like the systems. You know what I'm saying?
Automating like the administrative processes, the boring stuff.
Exactly. But that makes it smoother and easier for the agency and the athletes too.
Because I would imagine there's a lot of compliance that's in NIL, like, so
they're like lawyers and different things like that.
So I would imagine like, my brain, first thing in my brain would be like, I would create like a CRM SaaS concept specifically for agencies to operate with collegiate athletes in regards to NIL, which is probably out there. As soon as it popped in my head, I was like, somebody's probably already done it. If not, you've heard it first here. But
like, I do think there's a new wave coming to NIL. Like me being a youngin', of course, what we're doing in the AI space too. I think there's a new wave coming because things could be a lot more smoother, a lot more easier. As in, what you really need. You do need the AI one. Yeah. You do need a lawyer that knows the information of certain things runs within like the agency and the company, and then you just need you can have a founder, but more so you can have a person that's the face of that company.
True.
But within these agencies, what they do with the athletes, it's a conglomerate of a big agency, and there's like 4 different agents. That's with like maybe like an agent has 2-3 players, another agent has like 2 players, 1 player that they're managing and stuff like that. But in a sense, I do think AI may come to the point where, because I'm already using an AI agent now. Of course, you're using an AI agent that, gives you, it's like a personal assistant.
1,000%.
And it'll come to a point where agencies don't really they do matter, but they don't at the same time, because there's going to be, if it's not me, if it's not you, there's going to be a kid that creates something that now we have a point where we're in the AI revolutionary and evolutionary that all us players really need, and me as a former player, all the players really need is a personal assistant and a manager.
Some form of infrastructure that has SOPs and operations, and then you said something that like you dropped you said something that is very real and almost scary to me, because I'm in the consultative space, and to be honest with you, like it's a very weird space for me, because I'm like, I mean, you don't really need a consultant because ChatGPT is the consultant, but you do need an engineer or somebody who has the frameworks to leverage these tools.
Yeah, 100%.
So there's still a human element or a human component to it, because not everybody is obviously using these tools that, I mean, I paid $25. I paid for the team version of ChatGPT because I'm a nerd. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yes,
but I couldn't imagine running operations without a ChatGPT or Claude. You know, like it's really allowed me to scale my operations and handle multiple clients while I'm able to go and get more clients.
Exactly.
So it's such a huge, amazing opportunity to kind of get in early, because I do see a point in time, like you mentioned, where I mean, the only human component in the NIL dynamic would be the lawyer.
The lawyer.
And that's until, you know, I understand the compliancy why we can't let chat, you know, I'm pretty sure people are throwing their contracts and lease agreements. Like, let me, you know, I signed this apartment. Let me go throw this in chat.
Of course. I think many people, man, AI is here to stay. I don't think AI is leaving any time. So I think the best situation for everyone is to adapt, really, and probably try to learn the best way they can out of AI. We've been on AI months ahead of this podcast, months ahead of what we're even speaking about. You know what I'm saying? So I think like rooms like this have developed what AI is going to really become to in the next year or two.
1,000%.
That most of our audience doesn't know, or people that's out there, they really don't know where AI is going to go for real. But that's our job, really, to inform people too.
That's exactly why we decided that we wanted to kick off this discussions. You know, I watch nothing but podcasts. You know, like I said, I didn't want it to have the same tinge as a podcast, because it's just really us, really just having like real authentic conversation. But the reason that we decided that we wanted to make this content was to communicate to those who may not understand that the opportunity is here, and you don't want to get left behind, because it is rapidly evolving.
Moving fast.
As soon as I got in and I thought I was ready to launch and deploy and go to market, AI came out and said, well, we fixed that problem. We don't actually need you. And that's what is happening in industries. So it's very, you have to be very strategic, but you want to be first to market. So, you know, everybody's goal is to go out there, be first to market with their product. You know, hopefully, you know, that's what I tend to find, that you probably won't be first to market. You'll probably be unique to the market. That's why we always try to focus on, all right, so what is your unique selling position? Like what is different about what you sell? Because more than likely you sell something similar to the next competitor, right? So that's
not to cut you off, but that's what sticks the most, is because everyone's really doing the same thing. What's going to make you different?
And sometimes I think different is can also be the USP that is more competitive than better. You know, because sometimes you could work with a company they're better in a technical sense, but you might be different in that your approach to how you onboard and work with clients is that you're more one-on-one, you're more, you have more of a human touch. You know, and some people, and I've worked with clients who are not techies. I work with a blue collar, I do marketing for like blue collar companies, and they trust me. I've created client portals and done all these fancy things that they never log into. It's just send the invoice, you know.
100%.
So it's an interesting space. I'm glad that you talked about education, because Google has they just launched the IT professional, the AI professional certification through Coursera. And I'm a big component of like getting your certifications. I did my digital marketing certification.
The guru.
Coursera.
Well, I ain't even gonna put that though. I'm gonna really say the IP guru.
Yeah. You hear me? But I also understand that, you know, I'm 39. I come from the music industry. I'm a producer, 25 years. I work with the City Girls, Trina. Iceberg, Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne. I've got to work with Seven Streeter, Cash Doll. I mean, Joe Budden, Emilio Rojas. I hope
List goes on.
Pusha T.
Yeah.
You know, so really, I got to do a lot of stuff, really cool stuff in the music space, in the creative space. But then the industry started to change. I started to get more information about business, and unfortunately for me, I'm a numbers, data, analytical guy, and I saw where the struggle to make a living in music was coming.
Yeah.
And for years, I would say during the pandemic is when I started to kind of like go to the rooftop and say, hey, a big shift is coming. We need to start figuring it out, because a lot of people are not going to be able to make a living from streaming alone, you know. So creatively, we've started to see a lot of new changes that I'm really excited about, like going back to analog. Like, you know, Cole just did, I think the numbers came out, I think it was like 300,000 or something like that. He's
doing his
status.
big one, yeah.
He's GOAT status. All right. So what do you think about the current state of the music industry and creatives? Like, cause you're closer, believe it or not, you're closer to the culture now in music than I am.
Yeah.
Because I've been focusing in tech so much. So what is your take on the music industry now?
My take really on it is in a sense it's slowed down for sure.
Okay.
Than what it was like a few years before I actually like probably stepped into the vicinity of the music industry. And I definitely think it's gonna change rapidly very soon.
Okay.
In a sense, because my take on the music industry now is AI is gonna change everything.
Okay.
AI is gonna put a lot of producers, a lot of engineers out of business quick.
That's a bold statement.
It's a bold statement. I'm
not arguing with you.
I'll take that statement to the chin.
Okay.
If others do think otherwise, but
yeah.
I do think that AI is here to stay, and it's definitely going to change the music industry in a sense, because as we all know, Suno. That's already one thing that's already developed in a sense that we speak upon and we know about that.
I don't mind being honest and divulging that I've even though I've been distant in terms of proximity of like being commissioned to work on like production. I mean, I got some releases that have come out, you know, Jamaica Stay Strong, shout out Inner Circle. But I won't be shy to say that I know that peers and colleagues are leveraging tools that I know for sure has changed the landscape of, you know, like coming up with a record. And that's interesting because it's going to be hard to compete with that volume of content that is able. I think there was a number floating around like 40,000 AI songs being uploaded a day.
Yeah. And new AI artists are coming up every day.
And I was at my brother's gender reveal. You know, shout out little bro D-Lo, love you, man. Congratulations. And my dad's like, you know, he's my dad's always the DJ. He's the guy on the grill, cooks the food. My dad could cook. He's mean with the grill. He's a builder. You know, he guided me through building our new studio, and but he's also the music guy. He's got to have the aux cord. It's annoying sometimes because sometimes, you know, I'd be like, Dad, I got some, you know, man, I got some joints. You know, you never heard of Bryson Tiller, you know, but you know, it's dad,
It's
you know,
Pops.
it's
That's
pops.
Pops.
He's and it's his speaker, you know. So I'm like, and I'm listening. I'm like, you know, we playing all the good jams, you know, the old schools, you know, the Frankie Beverly, you know, all the, you know, the Isley Brothers, all the good backyard black people music. And then this song comes on. My dad's singing along with it, but I'm like, I know, like, me and my dad's relationship with music is like my dad used to play trumpet.
Yeah.
So it comes from like that's where our relationship like really he put music in me.
Yeah, it's in your DNA.
Yeah. And I'm like, I never heard this song, you know, and in new music discovery at his age to me is like, so you telling me you find that new music and you know, you in your 50s? Wait, what playlist? You know, like how, where? Is it on the radio? Like, you know, I'm a marketer, so now I'm thinking like, where did this song come from? Definitely a playlist.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to it.
Algorithm.
Man, I know the qualities, and I'm like, that's an AI song. He's like, it's not no AI song. I love this song. And I was like, trust me, if you go and look up the artist, this artist don't exist.
Yeah.
But in that moment, it was a case study that I think they did a study, and I think like 93% of people could not tell the difference of whether it was AI or human.
But that's the most and that's the most like minute detail of it all that tells. I feel like that really tells like it tells a story.
It tells a story.
But it really tells you where music is going and the industry of music is going, like from that. Because if you if like for instance us we work in AI, so it's like we can tell, we can have that eye or that discernment to be like, yeah, that's AI.
Yeah.
For the normals, like not to say the normals, but like for people out there, really civilians. Yeah. Some people don't know, and like you can have a song on the radio. Mm-hmm. That can be fully AI.
It's already happening.
It's already happening.
Yeah.
You know, like that's where the music industry is gonna turn to. It's gonna turn to AI, where in a sense that most producers, most engineers are gonna be out of a job unless they're AI producers, AI engineers.
I noticed that you focused on two service providers, which are engineers and producers, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a producer.
Yes.
You know, so I'm in there making the beat. I pay, you know, I charge a fee. I get paid. I can see where Suno comes in now and says, well, the artist was like, man, make me a trap soul beat.
Yeah.
And instrumental. And now producers no longer needed.
Yeah.
There's some questionable IP copyright stuff there. You know, I think there's been some changes with Suno. I haven't really followed. You know, again, I've been focusing in on the other lanes, but I'm glad. It's interesting that you chose those two service providers, which are the engineer, because then if the song is fully generated, then it ain't really nothing to mix.
There's really nothing to mix, just a rap over.
So if you're a creative and you're a producer, honest opinion, because we like to keep it real here, and we're I'm not a dream killer, but I'm an objectivist. I'm somebody who likes to operate maybe to some detriment in like logic and rationale. Like I'm doing the numbers, and I'm like, okay, there's a big problem here. So as a creator, as a producer, what would your advice be to somebody who is a producer who wants to continue to make that his career? Yeah. But if it's a career, make a living.
My advice is don't stop.
Okay.
Don't stop what you're doing. Keep the natural and organic way of how you learn how to produce, engineer. Same way. But more so implement that into like these new AI softwares, this new tech softwares, everything that has to do with tech, really, like more so implement your sound, your system of what you've learned already from being an engineer, producer into the AI space. And that's going to bring you a lucrative business, because now you can backhand off of both. You can already have the organic space of being engineer producer, but now it's like I'm implementing what I want to do into like things of like Suno or different, different softwares where now you can become a lucrative, business with using AI, because, we haven't gotten to the point yet that it's fully functional on AI. So, like there's still producers and engineers that are making the beats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you definitely have purists. You definitely have purists, and you have people out there that are like anti
purists and the tourists.
Exactly. You have anti AI. There's resistance in the producer. I still watch a lot of like creators from the YouTube producer community, and there's resistance, but overwhelmingly to me, there has been an acceptance of like leveraging these tools, because the business model now is like I can scale. I can make 10 beats a day, like.
Easy, 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
I can make 10 beats.
An engineer producer can make 10 beats in 5 minutes. And that 5 minutes, 10 beats, and but how we're speaking, you can make that 5-10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
If you make that beat in 5 and 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
But if you have some sort of traction and you're getting artists like the artists that you worked with, right? Yeah. So say for instance, I get the artist that you've worked with, right? And they're on my line. Yo, Jah, I need a beat. I just made 5 beats in 10 minutes, right? Okay. But I already leveraged that I've worked with these other artists. Then you become very lucrative in a sense. I've already worked with these artists. I have social proof I've worked with these artists. Now a new artist comes to me, for instance, right? You name for example, you name Pusha T. Yeah. Pusha T came to me for like, yo, Jah, I need a beat. Yeah. I'm gonna send him a deck of 5 beats. It's for you to like these beats. If you don't like them, you don't like them. But if you like one of these beats, boom, you can use the beat. But that beat could have been made off of AI.
Well, okay, so you're talking from the perspective of an established producer with a portfolio.
Yes.
As a new producer
coming up, AI is the best way for them to go.
So riddle me this, Batman. If you flood a market with supply, what usually happens to the value of the supply?
It depreciates.
How do you combat
from that? In today's time?
In this very particular scenario. Because
you're not already popping like that's just gonna be hard, brother. Real talk, like, because we're in the space, we see it on the daily. Like,
I know I've made a conscientious decision to retire from music.
Yeah.
But like I come, like I'll work if commissioned. Yeah. You know, like if somebody comes to me like, hey, I want to do something. But now I'm like doing it like it's got to be analog. Mm-hmm. I want to play. I want to let me make the beat. Yeah. Let me sit and produce a song with you. You know, I'm not opposed to, letting AI, like, because what I found with Suno for me, which was great, was like a cheat code. Yeah. Like when I'm doing demos, like I'm laying down my lead because I do, I write R&B. Yeah. And I don't want to do it's not that I don't want to do the backgrounds, but if I'm using Suno Studio, I can put my lead in there, and then now I can add a stem for my background vocals. And now I got background vocals. That's very innovative and useful.
That's the blueprint of making a whole song. What you just said, you made a whole song.
Oh, 1,000%.
And that probably only took you 20, 30 minutes.
I've done it a couple times.
You get what I'm saying?
For sure,
so like,
for sure. But because when I saw that I was able to do that, my excitement was like this. Yeah. Like a blink.
Bingo.
Because I was like, well, if I could do this, then everybody else can.
Everyone else can.
And then guess what? The guys that also have the bigger resumes could call up and say, hey, hey Abel, weekend. I got this joint for you right now. You know, matter of fact, I got 20 joints for you. So it
varies, man.
It's definitely conditional because to me, if you already have the established relationships and you're great at networking,
you're good. If you have established relationships, you're good.
But if you want
up and coming,
break into the industry,
this is what I'll tell people to do. From my advice, from my perspective, if we speaking on the pod, I'm gonna bro. I'm gonna keep it real, bro.
Keep it real, son.
I done seen Hitmaker, DDG, The Baby, Nardo Wick, all types of artists, working hand in hand in the same room with these guys, bro. You feel what I'm saying? So many artists, real artists that people really think, well, not people think, but artists that are out here that got clout, that really got a name for themselves, producers, engineers that got a name for themselves, bro. My perspective in that sense for up and coming artists and engineers, bro, find you an artist, or not even find you an artist. If there's an artist that you like and you really want to work with that artist and build with that artist.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? In a sense, really build and work with that artist. Because how times are changing now, bro. For me, if it was in my shoes and I really wanted to do this route, I would fuck with the artist, right? Me and the artist, we build our chemistry and whatnot together. But more so, I would make songs AI generated and keep that artist as the face of the songs that we're making.
Okay.
In a sense.
Give me the qualifications for, because you're talking about business partnership, right? You know, so we used to do production deals, right? Yeah. So we would get an artist and be like, we're gonna produce you, make the beats, we got the studio, so we're gonna record everything. We're gonna do everything, we're gonna produce you, and get, once you get the record deal, we'll get our percentage. That's pretty much what a production.
Yeah, all that shit has changed though.
What are the qualifications for the young creative who says, man, I still want to make beats, but I want to make a living.
Yeah. That's a very but that's a very great question. Because I've seen it, I've seen it firsthand, because the music industry hasn't died just yet. It hasn't depreciated just yet. There's still those producers out there, those engineers out there making a living. But now what they're doing is tapping into the shit we're on, tapping into AI. Yeah. Those major producers, those big time producers and engineers,
I won't drop no names.
They're going the route of AI.
They're using
AI. They're using the tools.
1,000%.
100%. We know that
for sure.
So for the up and coming engineers, producers, bro, they have to use AI. Audio. If we're speaking facts and I'm being truthful, the best bet is to use AI.
And we back, we humans, we got a quick little intermission. We were talking about, leveraging AI as a creative, but really talking to the artists the talent that have not yet broken through and created their fan base.
For me, I'm a young up and coming creator. Really and truly, the advice I'd give and my perspective on it for the young producers, young engineers that's in it, really lock into the AI in a sense, audio. Use the AI as a tool. Use it as a tool, but still keep your organic basics and fundamentals that you've learned as a producer and engineer. Mm-hmm. Because within the space that, we've been in with the major producers, the major artists in the same rooms with us.
Absolutely.
They may not think the way we think, but there's things that we can implement for them to think in a sense where it's I don't want to give this out there, but that idea you came out with that big ass, camera and like certain shit like that.
Yeah.
Regular producers and engineers aren't thinking like that. But that's another lucrative business for engineers and producers to make if they want to sustain in this business and not get ran out by AI.
Yeah.
That's another way. But, the Suno apps and the softwares that are coming, they can build upon those type of things, implement that into their structure.
Okay.
Studios will never run out of business because you need somewhere to record. You need a vibe. You need a structure. You need a community.
Well,
look. Yes, I get what you're gonna say, as in like,
there's a stack of tools.
Well, I would say this.
That could possibly.
I would say this. The organic way of making music hasn't died just yet. Yes, there's artists making music from the phone, the earphones, and like the computers. You could do that. You can get a hit off of that and, just go skyrocket. Yeah. But I think that traditional way of like going to the studio, getting that feeling, working with the producer engineer hasn't died just yet.
We're early into. You remember when people had MP3 players?
Yeah.
You remember the Zooms and the iPods and shit. You remember there was a time when those devices existed and we were walking around, and then now we don't need them anymore, and because we have streaming in the phone.
We have streaming, but not to cut you off, but that's
so technologically, I'm
you're there.
Yeah, I'm like
you're ahead of like what they know, but like again, like the topic you spoke upon, like Steve Jobs, his job was to put 1 million songs in our pocket. Yeah, that was his job, creating the iPod. Was like, let me put 1 million songs in someone's pocket. Where now, before we had the iPod, we had to listen radio, vinyl maybe, or like we never had where we could have our pocket in the headphones to just listen to music. Now there's streaming services and everything where like music is just accessible to everyone in a sense.
Absolutely. But here's the good news. It's not all gloom and doom. Definitely leverage AI. Leverage AI to help you do operations, right? To speed up the process. Usually, when you get signed to a label, you would get like a back office of people.
Now you like said everything that the young niggas need to listen to. Simple as that. I didn't say it, but you said it. Like leverage the AI.
Leverage AI, but don't. I'm gonna keep it all the way because it's all signal. Using AI creatively is really fun. It's cool. I've used Suno. There's this other tool called Controller. Like I got my voice trained. And I'll take a Suno song, I'll write it. Or maybe me and ChatGPT will co-write it. And then I'll go to Suno and I'll make the song and it'll sound super amazing with these really cool backgrounds. And then I'll go and convert it using another tool because I've trained my voice. And so now it's me singing that song. I don't need a studio anymore.
Yeah, you don't. You don't.
So if you're going to leverage the technology and AI, there's fundamentals. You need to understand what problems you need AI to fix first. So you know what the skill set that needs to happen? You got to learn to find in the problems.
Solve the solution.
So you can create the solution leveraging AI. Making the beat is okay, cool. Yeah. That wasn't your problem.
But I'm not a producer.
You're
engineer.
not a producer.
I'm in it though. Yeah, but like
But that's not the producer's problem. You know how to make beats.
Yeah.
But what if I used an automation to run and find all the type of artists that I think are in my niche or style, and then I use an automation tool to go out and do cold DMs for me and say, hey man, I'll create a script and say, hey man, just checking out your new music. This type of stuff has already been around for a long time, but just think about leveraging that tool, like ManyChat is a great tool that people are using. That is a automated communication tool in socials. But for me, is to push the creatives to start thinking about their problems and what you're gonna have to do going forward. This is the skill that everybody's gonna have to learn. Is you got to learn. You're gonna have to learn how to ask the right question. You don't have to know everything. Mm-hmm. You got to learn how to ask the right question
with an AI.
And then we move to AI to say, how can AI fix that problem? Those are the frameworks.
I agree
on how to leverage AI. So we talked about sports. Mm-hmm. We talked about creatives. I know you like fashion.
Yes, sir.
Fashion, AI. Do you think that's is that cheating? Is this? I mean, print on demand used to be like now it's like, man, you can kind of go on Ideogram and go make a really cool design, and you could probably do something to the effect of like, I want a Virgil Abloh inspired design.
You definitely can.
So,
my take on it with the fashion sense, based off of what I've learned and like the knowledge in the game now, in a sense, AI helps fashion. Mm-hmm. It doesn't deteriorate fashion, because within fashion, I'm speaking to you guys, fashion is recycled. So like the depths that I've learned within this fashion industry is that, and most of the audience probably will figure out after, you see this, is that it repeats itself.
Yeah, it comes in cycles.
Every 15, 20 years, the same thing comes right back up in fashion.
For sure.
It repeats itself.
I think
for every generation.
I am not a fashionista, but I think Chrome Heart's been around for a long time.
They've been around for a long time. Kappa's been around for a long time.
So
FUBU's been around. Now you see the Drakes, the SZAs wearing the same thing.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And FUBU, I feel like, was a staple to me, in a sense that like their whole structure is what's really going on till this day.
Yeah.
But that's Black owned in a sense. But the what AI brings to fashion in a good sense, definitely the R&D, the research and development. But there's different softwares now that you can use within the fashion space that was so hard before AI. Okay. I was like, bro, you can have like a walking model in your clothes, like that you may design on like Procreate, Photoshop, these different type of things, maybe Canva, like your hard designs that you may put on a t-shirt, a sweater, quarter zip and things like that. You can actually have that design with like a 3D model.
AI avatar.
But it looks so like commercial shot type thing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So, okay. So in the fashion community, you would A/B test it. So, like, let's say you would come up with a design, and you come up, and then you'd be like, you know what, I'm gonna make a little cool creative, and run it, run a like an organic post and see if the response is that's actually.
But yes, to an extent. But now there's this app, there's a software called Cloud, my G, like Claude or Cloud 3, whatever it's called. But this software is a software that the creatives in that fashion space needed from the get-go.
Okay.
And I think if the Virgils, I think Pharrell's using it now.
What problem did it fix?
The problem that it did fix was the generic way of showing your like collection or things like that. It changed that whole like paradigm of like showing a collection.
Right.
Basically, the collection looks will be like, you'll snap a photo, probably put 100 things on like a whiteboard or something like that.
Like using Miro.
Yeah. And like you'll see it, like, for instance, like a lookbook or something like that. Yeah. You'll have like maybe 100 and like depict from those different things and numb it down to probably like 10.
Okay.
Where now use these different softwares, it's depicting it for you in a sense. But now it's making the way you show your collection way more smoother. Now you can show your collection the original way, or you can show your collection maybe like having AI models walk down a runway, for instance, or you can show your collection via commercial style. You can show it's many ways. It's many ways that like AI is actually like help the fashion industry more than bring it down.
I could imagine now the ability to go to market and like A/B test something is like way faster now. Like where versus like the analog way where you would have to actually like probably produce the actual product. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I did.
And now, cool. And then like there's a new shit that I just discovered, bro. There's a way that tech packs are like what you send to like a manufacturer and shit like that with like measurements. Just same way of like how we do like proportions and different like linings, inches on like videography and stuff like that. There's different tech packs where you can use with AI. That you can send straight to a manufacturer and they understand it now because it's more like it's simplistic in a sense where it's like they're not confused. They get it. You get what I'm saying? Where like if I sent an OG tech pack, a manufacturer, someone designing my clothes may like not really understand where they got to help on a meeting or a call where it's like, damn, I'm losing out on money because you did it wrong or you fucked up the product, basically. Where now it's like AI now they're developing the softwares. Well, I don't know who's doing it, but these young tech niggas in the fashion industry are like, they're developing shit to the point where it's like, it's so crisp. Where now you send your product to a manufacturer and who's developing your clothes for you. They made tech packs that simple.
I think that what you hit on is what I like to identify as like the niches within the niches. Where you can find use cases for AI that's where my focus was like, okay, here's the industry, here's the processes. Somewhere in between, there's a bottleneck. There's this thing that's just like it's slowing down scale. And if you're the one that figures out how to fix the problem, you're in the money.
Now you scale,
And so another plug, if you are in need of any kind of AI consultant, I'm an implementation strategist. We show you, we do discovery, we sit with you, we really take a look at your operations and your business, and we try to understand like what you're doing so we can identify the bottlenecks to basically do an assessment for what we call AI readiness for automation. You remember Elon Musk and Doge, and they went into the government systems. Even if there's components and systems that are not even running very efficiently, just taking that component out can be catastrophic. So plugging in automations isn't just as simple as people think it is. It's because most people don't have a really intimate relationship with their processes and their SOPs and their operations. And that's where we specialize in. We do a discovery, we sit down and we consult, we come up with a plan, and if you want the implementation actually built in, we do that as well. So I gotta keep plugging the company.
No, you have to. Make sure y'all tap into AJ Digital. Like
AJ Digital,
AJ Digital, and it's all signal.
So let's do a little bit of history. We popped it off at Circle House.
Yes, sir.
The music mecca of Miami.
Yes, sir.
Through our good brother BB.
Yes, sir.
I saw like The Shining. You ever seen the movie The Shining? And I was just like, oh, he got The Shining. You know what I'm saying? And I saw how quickly you picked up tech. Like, were you always into tech or?
Definitely, I was always into tech, but like Circle House and you definitely like flipped the switch.
Okay.
Because I was always into tech and always into like, the shit I was into, but not towards like after football, like, that perspective when you're in like sports and stuff is like strictly business. Like I'm focused on this, like I'm trying to get to this next step, that step. But once I stepped out of that, sports and like but like developing my career and stuff like that, and what things I wanted to tap into, this and that. Definitely, I was always into tech, but like at Circle House, you definitely like, it wasn't even like you instilled it in me or like anything like that. It was like seeing you do the work, watching you. You get what I'm saying? And it was like, oh, use that? I've used that before. I know how that shit works.
Yeah.
But then it was like the components on top of that. Okay, you know how this software works. Yeah. Try this, learn this.
Yeah.
And then like, in a sense, like all those components of like the shit you were teaching me kind of like broadened my horizons on like, damn, like I knew this, but like shit, let me tap into this. And once I learned that shit was like, damn. Really?
There's this, I don't want to say framework, but there's this story, or I don't know, I forget where I got it from, so it's not mine. But if they say, if you want to find like the most efficient or easiest way to get like a job done, like have a lazy person do it. So I kind of like have that philosophy to be like, how can I make this easier for me? Because, you know, I think a lot of us get we have a relationship with working hard with also being a correlation to like success. Yeah. But I don't necessarily believe that as like an absolute. I'm like, in some cases, if you work really, really, really hard, or you can work really smart.
You work smart, yeah.
You know, and so I knew I had to become, or I needed to lean into systems thinking, because I, believe it or not, I am a hard worker.
Yeah,
like
100%.
I used to sit and make 10 beats a day. You know what I'm saying? I don't shy away from the work, but I also now understand that working hard is something that we kind of like wear as a badge. Where it's like, you know, I'm working hard. It was like,
put in that work.
Cool. Yeah. I appreciate, you know, like that's a very novel thing, and that's awesome. But if you want to grow and you want to scale, you need to think like the top 1%.
Big dogs.
Like the big dogs, you know.
and I feel like for me, that's where like the paradigm shift happened for me. In a sense, because you've seen it firsthand. You like, man, I was in there grinding, bro. Like,
no, I got
12-hour days, back to back.
I gotta give you your props, man. You know, you had it. When I had the office over there, you know, you was the one that cleaned it out, you know, and cleared the space for me to even like come, like for me to get into this, you know, this new office space. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy that this is even here. Because, you know, I've been at Circle House since I was like 15 or 16 or something. So I'm in this room and I'm like, that's crazy, you know. So, you know, I definitely appreciate, you know, you put it in the work. And that's another thing. Yeah.
But that was like, bro, that was like earning my stripes phase. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like square zero, man. Like from the very first meeting when it was all three of us, like you understood me and I understood you completely. Like the language of just like when we started talking about gaming, how we're fucking on the games and shit like this. Like what can we do? Trying to solve problems. From the very origin of that, bro, like I already knew like, hell yeah, like I need to be here in a sense. And I need to be with, you know, audio, like in a sense. But like that main point, bro, like it's in a, bro, you really showed me like the ropes with this AI shit, bro, this tech shit. Like
it's where the rubber meets the road. and I took on like, okay, like everybody has a story and they have a role in their story that they're gonna play. And I was like, audio, who you finna be post, or okay, you retired. You know, you retired producer, music producer. Yeah, I did it. I did it. You know, we did it. I did it. Who you gonna be now? And I immediately, you know, my introduction to AI was, you know, it's been years now, but I immediately saw the gap, and I said, okay, I know who I have to be now. It was kind of like, it's almost, I don't want to say this without like, because it's Black History Month.
Yeah,
but
100%.
It's Black History Month.
Shout out to the goats.
Shout out to my forefathers. Like, I saw that my people were gonna get it left behind.
Yeah.
I said, they ain't telling us about this.
Yeah.
They ain't teaching it. Because they got all of us locked into the matrix.
Mm-hmm.
So none of us are really getting or our proximity to using these tools. Like, most people are using ChatGPT like Google, to the point where now it is basically like a Google. There's where people go get answers, but that's like 10% of what it can really do. So if there's a wealth gap, there's an education gap, and we're the minorities, we always get the shit end of the stick. And I said this. I said, I'm going to be the loudest Black voice in AI.
Yeah, as you should.
I have to be.
You have to.
Yeah, because so many of us are going to get left out. And I said, man, I got to give the praises to my grandmother, because I was like, on my block, I was like the only kid with a computer, like the towers, when it was like, man, I can't remember the prices, but I know it was like $4,000 or $5,000 to have a computer with the big CRT monitor, and we're in there, and I'm playing solitaire or something like that. But she gave me technology like very early, and had it not been for that beautiful, wonderful lady that blessed me with that technology, I don't think that, I would have had the relationship that I have with it now, because I wasn't outside. Like I said, I wasn't really, I would play sports when, it's like, come on, come on, Ty, we need a third man, or we need a fifth man, or whatever. I'm jumping in. I ain't scared to play. I'm gonna play.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play. They say I got one of the most ugliest jumpers, but I be draining them. And it is ugly. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised. I surprise niggas on the court. They be like, yo, you just ugly, but you dropping them. I'm like, hey, look, I'm gonna play, bro.
Yeah.
I'm a competitive person.
For sure.
But I immediately saw, and I said, oh, they gonna do it to us again. They gonna leave us behind. And that's why now I gotta, that's why we're doing what we're doing, is because I want young minorities to understand that they are stacking the deck. And if you don't get smart and you don't start changing, changing your perspective on the values of what you value,
you're fucked.
Yeah, you're out of the game. You're out of the game.
To speak on that though, like, my route was pretty different than like the normal Black kid, I would say. And I'm blessed and I'm grateful and highly favored. I think they did. Well, for me, like, I did get introduced in a sense than like the normal Black kid would.
Yeah.
That is in school now, that is learning about AI and tech. I think they're now implementing it now in school learning and like experimental learning, where like you got to go like do outside things. That's like a part of your process of school and stuff like that.
This is in public?
I know this is in public and private school.
Okay.
Now, where like you have to do experimental learning.
Okay.
But like you have to like go into different fields and learn as like a credit or like a grade and different things. That's like one of the best things they probably did in a sense for kids to really figure out what they like and what they really want to do. But, I would like, for instance, it wasn't specifically AI, but like tech and like the business of tech and like SaaS, software as a service, was like introduced to me through the communities I was in and environments I was in a sense, going to private school and with, that social group and the things that they're working on.
But that wasn't a predominant.
That wasn't a predominant Black thing. That, you know what I'm saying? And
you was with the Yamins.
But in a sense, that's where you are, right? Like if you're not in that circle and if you're not in those places, you're fucked.
If you're
because you're not learning at a high scale, you're not learning fast enough, and you're not knowing the information that is going to start happening before. Because the places and environments I was in, I was knowing things 6 months before they even happened, or like I'm around tech guys, or I'm around people whose parents are probably investors in different things that they already trend forecasted what's going to happen 6 months ahead of time. They already seasons ahead, quarters ahead.
Access.
You know what I'm saying? The access. So the language was different for me in a sense where like I picked up on things quickly, and like I was told things like very quickly of like what's about to happen, how I should, invest, how I should start moving. But the normal minority of black kids and the black youth and us, and that's why it is our job to be, uplift and like push this forward. Your job to push this forward, be the face of like that AI for us as a black culture, because it is important, because we are getting left behind, and that's the fact.
I saw a platform grow over the pandemic. EYL. Shout out to them boys, because they made like financial literacy like cool. For
Earn Your Leisure?
Earn
Your Leisure,
So I said in my head, oh, we need one of those for the AI.
For the AI. We actually that's a fact. Like,
Come on, my man.
Like we never spoke about that though. Like that's a fact, audio.
That's what we doing right now. That's what this whole shit is, my boy.
That's a fact.
That's on the dead, as they say, on the dead homies.
What the fuck?
That's what we doing right now, my man.
Oh shit.
It's about connecting the dots, because I crashed out financially, and I didn't get my MBA at Harvard or at one of these Ivy Leagues. I got my MBA in fucking up royally in business, like burning and crashing, out of arrogance and ignorance. So if I could alleviate some of that pain, and we talked about this in our test run, like there's something you got to bump your head. It's just got to happen.
100%.
But there are cases where we can mitigate some of that risk by giving you enough information where now you can approach this a little more strategic. And that's really what I want to do with this platform. Is I really want to connect the dots where I know that there's huge gaps, because I'm watching us use the technology and I'm like, y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have ChatGPT create tasks, right? It's like, I want at the top of the morning, I want you to do this, and this, and this. Like, if you're somebody who is not, if you're scattered brained, or if you don't have a good structure and organizational, like it's a tool that can now help you be more efficient and proficient in what you want to do in life and everything.
If you want to get corporate, like with what I'm doing now, everything you've taught me, bro, from the get-go, from like square one to like what I'm doing now, A to Z.
Yeah.
And this is corporate, bro.
For
and
sure.
This is big time money, big time company, as you know. But like for like our audience and stuff like that, I'm using AI on pretty much everything.
McKinsey is a huge company. It's a huge firm. They just fired so many consultants because AI could do it.
Yeah.
So what does that mean, right? We're in this like unicorn. Pandemic was a unicorn time, right?
Yeah, for sure.
This is a unicorn time. You need to. I don't want to. FOMO is just, it's a useful tool, but I'm being authentically like honest and transparent. Do not miss out on this opportunity. Don't get left behind. If you like me when Bitcoin and all that, like I missed that wave. I didn't have the information. When Bitcoin when it got introduced, I got introduced to Bitcoin during the pandemic. I was like, what the fuck is a Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Again, the information gap. now, now I'm like, oh, okay, crypto. There's this digital money currency stuff now. So we're now in a unicorn opportunity where like everybody needs to be thinking like, how can I leverage this technology to create generational wealth and change my family's life?
Yeah.
Like, I got to keep it real. I try to keep, my ear to the streets when it comes to the music, the Kendrick, the Drakes, and all this stuff was going on. Oh, I think Kendrick took a jab.
That shit don't matter, bro.
At Thug, and I was like, wow, really? All right, yeah. Well, I need to also figure out how to need to go and create this. I'll tell you about this offline.
Offline, but like
online, I'm working on something. Yeah,
online though.
Yeah,
I think that's why Circle House was good for me.
Okay, yeah,
because I observed a lot.
Okay,
you get what I'm saying? Like being around like those big time artists and like.
What was the biggest takeaway?
My biggest takeaway, like, I love the work ethic for sure. Like, I love the work ethic of those artists, man. Like, and it built me up, man, for sure. But like working around the big time artists, man, like, I'm not really, that shit don't faze me, bro. Like, I'm not really like, fuck, I'm in the room with this guy. I'm thinking about like some shit where it's like.
The novelty wears off fast.
Yeah, like I'm in the, like, based on what you touched upon, bro, like I'm worried about tech shit. I'm worried about AI, and I'm really in those rooms.
I don't know if you want to share this, but didn't you get a chance? You went to the West. Did you go to the Grammys?
I did. You've
been in some shit.
Yeah.
I'm 25 years in the game. I ain't never been in the Grammys.
Yeah, I did, man. Shout out to 3 Limari, Auntie Lyrical. Shout out to them for sure, man. I did. I did go to LA with them for sure. And that was an experience.
So you went to, you went to this place where like that's like I'm an athlete. I want to go to, I want to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You got to participate and go there, and then you came back and you was like, that was cool. But this tech AI shit.
Like that shit was cool for me, bro, to experience. Like the experience is always great.
Yeah.
For sure. But like, in a sense, man, they're already ahead of these corporations and these conglomerates are already ahead of time, whereas in a sense that maybe we're too much ahead of them.
Yeah.
But they know what's up. Yeah. They know what's going on, in a sense that shit, fuck it. We on the pod, bro.
Yeah, hey, keep it real.
Most of these fucking corporations that y'all think are like these ABCs and like channel, like
these huge conglomerates, these they are.
It's all fake, bro. Like the same way AI, you know what I'm saying, bro? This shit's all fake, bro. Like, and I experienced it firsthand, bro. In a sense that you have a pre-show, you have a rehearsal and an actual show, but all of them are all like recorded in a sense. You get what I'm saying? But it's recorded in a sense that the public viewer that's in there, their phones are getting taken away, so they can't really do what they want to do.
For sure.
But what's being broadcasted live is like bits and pieces of those 3 rehearsals, live show, then the actual show. In a sense, we're like,
the moment for me was when I was on Sisterhood of Hip Hop. I wasn't on it; they cut me out.
That's another thing. Not to cut you off. That's another thing. But that wasn't just the Grammys where I experienced that at, bro. Like loving hip hop.
Yeah.
Like if we really want to get into this shit, like
it's when I was working with Breonna Perry and Lee Mays, and shout out to those beautiful young ladies. They gave me an opportunity to make some music with them, and my management at the time was just like, "Yo, let's try to get audio. It's PR, good look. Let me get on the show." And I remember, like the production crew comes in and they kind of explain like what this is gonna be, and they're gonna ask about the song. And I remember like me having to go through the process of like saying bye like more than like at least 4 or 5 times, like because I guess I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't ready
Yeah.
because it was like, oh, the cameras are on, and like I'm at this point I'm producer Audio Jones, but I didn't sign up to be on reality TV.
Yeah.
I know why they cut me because I dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah.
I should have been on it, but that's when the veneer like fell, and I was just like,
The curtain.
it's just not reality. It's not reality at all.
I don't want to get in trouble speaking too much upon it, but like for the audience out there, it's like, man, like what we're basically trying to give y'all game upon is like tap into the AI now and don't wait.
Yeah,
AI right now is what
it's
it's the beginning of like how Facebook exploded. It's the beginning of how all these
.com.
What AI is for me and what I told Audio right now, the host is like how that internet era began and like the Firefox, the Googles, and like how internet became a thing to like his generation is the new internet for us. And that's why I was saying everything recycles every 15, 20 years because now artificial intelligence it's already been a thing, bro.
Oh, it's been a thing.
It's just more developed and it's at a pace.
It's commercial now.
It's commercial now. Yeah,
the consumer has access.
The
internet. You've been around before the internet. It was just it got commercialized, so. Yeah, 100%. What we're saying right now, this platform is that we make sure that we help you fill in the gaps where you guys might be. I mean, you might not be in the circles in the proximity like you got the blessings to go to. Was it a private or a charter?
Private school. Yeah.
I seen the difference between kids who went to like private schools and charter schools, and then guys like me who went to public school.
Yeah.
Like I know the educational differences.
Yeah.
Like when like doing labs and shit like that.
Yeah.
I ain't did that.
Did none of that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So
yeah,
it was no group. It was just
we were doing that
projects. You know what I'm saying? So, but
But not to take away though, bro. Like really and truly, like. What this world needs, man, we need every school to be private school. We need every school to have the same.
You're getting political.
No, really,
I'm with you. I'm not. I actually.
It may be political, bro.
I'm not mad. I think privatizing. I think privatizing school. I'm gonna tell you why I'm not opposed to it because I've seen the product of privatized school. If public school. If it produced the product or the quality of the product that I saw come out of privatized school, then
better off.
Great, awesome. But
we know, we know why there's public and private school. For the government beneficial, they benefit off of public schools and stuff like that, but. Man, private school was an experience for me in a sense because I was able to tap into things that were greater than me. I was able to learn teamwork. I was able to learn different things. And like, there's different, in a sense, like private schools, there's different communities, bro. Like, I'm not trying to get so political, but like,
no, I mean, we're
there's a difference.
As you honest.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. There's a difference because like private schools tend to more like feel like Ivy League type of schools, like preparing you for like the Harvards, the Yales,
or damn sure,
and shit like the college preparatory type of shit. So
it's prep.
So like I'm taking fucking classes that are like a microcomputer in 6th grade, 7th grade that I'm learning about. How to fucking not code, but like build systems or like shit in computers and like using Excel and be, computer savvy, very young.
Yeah.
So like these type of things are sparking us kids. Like we're doing this, we're doing experiment learning. Like I was saying in the beginning, like we're doing these type of things, bro. Like we're building plants first. I would say like, bro, there's like classes I had all types of shit where like, I was learning that really it broadened my horizons other than sports, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's where I feel like most people that I'm in a circle with, or most people that know of me, only know me of sports, don't really know the shit that I've exposed to or experienced, as in a sense of with like school shit. Like, bro, that shit like definitely like broadened my horizons other than sports. And I feel like the difference in public school is like there's more kids trying to make it out than like trying to get like trying to learn or like really understand what like a science and economics is and shit like that. Like
what I found to be the gap was, and my biggest, my philosophy about like going like university and college, I don't think you have to do it anymore. I think that's like an old model. But what I do regret was the opportunity to learn how to learn.
Yeah. That's what I learned in
like a syllabus.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
shit like that.
I had to like self-teach myself how to like, shout out again to my grandma, man. She put hooked on phonics in my hand, and I remember, I'm just giving my age. It was, it was a little cassette, and you get your flashcards, and you open, and you be like, A for apple, but she's always was big on education for me. So I give it definitely to my grandmother for planting those seeds. And even though I did not get the opportunity, but she was setting it up for me to go to college, but she gave me like the choice. Like she was like, I'm putting the money away. I think it was like an educational IRA or something. Like, so if I took out the money, I had to pay the taxes. And I kind of, at that time, I was already like, man, I was already doing music. So I was just like, Grandma, I ain't going to college. I'm going to be a rock star.
No, that's a fact. But like to touch up on that point again, man, like I really and truly think that a bunch of parents should make that sacrifice if this shit doesn't change to put their kids in private school. In a sense, like public school is fine and different things like that. But it's more so like, man, for like my life, in a sense where like, I never really like struggled like in life, but like my parents are pretty straight. But being a black kid is hard, bro. Like genuinely in this world, it's hard. We already have two stripes against us, bro. We're black and we're males. You know what I'm saying? No, it's real. Like this shit's real, bro. Like, but
damn, I didn't know we were gonna get this political.
No, we're not getting political. We're not getting political. But I'm just saying, as in, like, from my experience, like, this shit may be cut out. I don't know. But, look, let me finish. Like, my experience, bro, like, from, like, my standpoint of life, bro, and, like, how I was raised and brought up, when I started going to private, because I know the difference. I went to public school K through 5th grade.
Okay.
So my parents put me in public school. I experienced that. But once they put me in like private school, bro, the paradigm of my life shifted completely.
For sure.
In a sense where like, it's not only like what I'm learning in school, but it's the kids that I am around. And it's their language. It's their thought process. It's the structures that their backgrounds of their homes that they're coming from that are in the same arena and like facility as me. In a sense that it's like, maybe they're learning from me, of course. Like maybe it's my structure of, for instance, taking out the trash every day. But like from that background, their background, it may be a perspective of like, you have to do such and such, X, Y, and Z. But it's like we're picking each other's brain and like a bunch of friends and like, kids I've learned from and grew up with over those courses from like 6th grade to 12th grade.
It's allowing you to develop like new synapses because you're getting introduced to different cultures.
Different things, different cultures, but it's like high level though, in a sense. You get me? Where like it sped up my process faster than the average or normal black kid.
That's to build on what you're saying, so that way I don't discount the experience because I too have to give like the grace and glory to like my grandmother because like I went to the Smithsonian like
100%,
on that, not at a school field trip,
but that's what I'm saying
took
though.
Me there, you know what I'm saying? So
that's what I'm saying. Like
I was exposed to. She knew what she was putting the building blocks. And so and then I go back to like I'm born and raised Miami Carroll City, and I got friends in those neighborhoods that never like left Florida. At one point, this is like years ago. So I absolutely understand the dynamic of being able to be in different social groups, and how that opportunity. That's why my relationship is a little different with the even like yourself with the Yamins. It's like my granddad. Not my blood granddad, but my step granddad. Not step granddad. I called him Papa. He was there when I was in Pampers. He was a white guy. Like my grandma was black, and she was married to this white dude. So like the dynamic was, and they took me around the country. Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Washington D.C., Virginia, Kentucky. I've been places. I've been so many museums, so many places that expanded and allowed me, like traveling to me is like one of the most instrumental, impactful tools you can give a child is get them out of their box, get them into new cultures, get them into new opportunities and places, because that's where they're going to really grow.
And that's where we speak upon that's why most athletes are athletes from our culture in a sense. So you get that opportunity to travel. You get to go play AAU game in fucking Las Vegas. You get to go play football in Atlanta, maybe Canada. These opportunities are set for us. That's why we're in these sports, and we're predominant in these sports because we're learning through those travels that we're taking as athletes. Because that's a point of my career too, bro. I've learned a lot playing sports and being able to travel for sports.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like on the road.
It unlocked.
You see different. The operation in Florida is different than the operation in Cali in Canada. It's totally different. But if you never left, you would never know.
Right.
Like I would never know that. Like if I never left Florida, bro, I would never know that Tennessee is there's Broadway on Tennessee, and Tennessee looks the way it looks.
Oh yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Or like Tennessee's actually fucking fun.
Tennessee's fire.
It's fire as fuck. But you would never know that.
My grandmother had like a piece of mountain in Irwin, very small piece. That's when I knew my grandma had like she had put some stuff together. It was smart. Like she had a slice of a mountain, and we had all this land in Flag Pond, Irwin, Tennessee, very small. It's scary because I seen the police like one time in the summer, because we were up there spending the summer vacation with my grandmother in this beautiful home on the side of it. But I saw the police one time, and that let me know how small the town was, and we were obviously the minority there, so actually that was the first time I've actually experienced like true, like real, actual like racism. Like, that was the first time I've been ever called. I was like, I think 17, and I was with my dad, and I was walking out of the hotel because we were gonna go to the new house in the mountain, and it was like out of the movies. It was a pickup truck. It was a white pickup truck. And they called me the N-word and every other curse word. And, I'm from Miami, Carroll City. Like, Miami, country black people and Miami black people are different. Like, we very much like, we don't care. Like, we not scary. We're in the southern belt, they went through some things, so they got to move different.
They with it. So
I returned fire with fire, and my dad had to like restrain me and say, "Hey, this was a pinnacle moment for me, because it also made me had to learn some humility, because it was saying, hey, I know that pissed you off. I know like that word triggered you.
Yeah, it's trigger points.
But we outnumbered right now. This ain't the time. Chill out." And that moment stood with me because it was so racist. Like, how people be like, man, that was racist. And you'd be like, they use it very loosely, where it was just like, no, I was called a with the hard R.
Yeah.
You know, just that I don't in that moment I don't even remember. It didn't feel real.
I feel that.
It was like, oh no, that was actually textbook actual racism. Like that one is okay. So all right. So we got political, we got racial, we got because we definitely just wanted to make sure we kick off this first episode. Any last words? Because we gonna sign out. We gotta go handle some business, get prepared for some grand opportunities that we want to bring to you guys. So we're gonna have a quick meeting after this, but we definitely wanted to launch our first,
AJ Digital,
and
episode 1.
Any last words?
I'm gonna end it with this, man, because this probably on all our hearts, but like. What me and Audio is on is like inspiration, bro. Like, even though we may have, the information for like a bunch of stuff, I feel like I'm here and you're here to like inspire, bro. Like, so for everyone out there, like keep doing what you're doing and don't stop for nobody. Like, keep your head down, grind, because I'm only 23 years old and I, been in a lot of rooms. From the grace of God, I'm blessed, I'm thankful. But also, man, I put that work in. Audio's put that work in, like sacrifice, time. We grinded. So like I really want to be that inspiration for the youth, man. Like that's out here that want to tap into the AI, that wants to be in that creative space, fashion, music, whatever it is, man. NIL, sports, like just really grind, lock in, put your head down, and that shit gonna come to fruition. Because us right here both have seen it happen for our lives, as I'll say, like firsthand. So like and it's not to sound cliche, bro. It's like real talk. Like put your head down, grind, pray, stay consistent, and it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's AJ Digital, Jah Rolle.
Hey, beautifully said, my man. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you,
this was
dog.
our successful first
sir.
episode, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is AJ Digital. I am Audio Jones. Again, AI implementation strategist, personal brand consultant. And if you need a podcast produced, we are your team. We're your dedicated team. We can come to you or you can come to our various facilities and we will shoot your content. We'll package it for you. We're going to do all the hard work that you don't want to do. All you have to worry about is being authentically you, and we can package that in a way that's going to make it so easy. You're going to love it. I promise you. Until next time, friends, we out. Love y'all.
We out.